How many of you have ever heard the saying, a dog is a man's best friend? Cool. For the purpose of this speech, I would say a hybrid would be a man's best friend. Now, I know a lot of you are probably tired of paying, high prices for refueling your car constantly, and going to gas stations every 3 days. I know I am. So that's why I say the use of hybrid vehicles impact our society in a positive manner. And with this reasoning, I'm going to explain to you why I think everybody should invest in a hybrid vehicle. I want to start by sharing some facts about hybrids for you. Toyota Motor Sales, or Toyota, was the first car company to introduce a hybrid in the United States in 2004, and their first car was the Toyota Prius. Since the introduction of the Toyota Prius, other car companies such as Honda, GMC, Nissan, they have all learned similar technologies from Toyota, and they came out with cars such as like the Honda Civic Hybrid, the Honda Insight Hybrid. Nissan came out with the Altima Hybrid, and then Ford came out with the Ford Escape Hybrid. So everybody's trying to put on and go green, I should say, with these hybrids. Toyota themselves have expanded their technology into other models besides the hybrid. If you don't know, Lexus, Toyota, and Scion, they're all connected. They're all based through Toyota, but they all are individual. And so with other models, Toyota has enhanced their technology with Lexus, the Lexus RS, the Lexus GS, the 2007 Toyota Camry, and the Toyota Highlander. Whether a hybrid is from a Toyota or from Nissan, GMC, the credibility of the technology is all the same. All hybrid cars, they combine with an electrical motor and a gas motor to run the car. Hybrids combine electricity and gas to lower emissions and fuel for our atmosphere. A lot of the hybrid cars, they run either the same or faster, or I won't say faster, either the same or at a constant speed as a gas-powered car would. Also, hybrids, they reduce 90% of smog in America. One new technology they have is called this braking technology. It provides for a good way for charging your batteries and saving gas. So when you're stopped at a red light, or pretty much when you're stopped at a red light, your car will shut off. And when it shuts off, it's running all on electricity and on your battery, and that's saving your gas. But when you push the gas, the electricity starts the car and accelerates the car until your gas is able to kick in, and then that's when the gas will kick in once you're at a constant speed. So you're saving gas when you're parked, or stopped, I should say. So many of you may be asking, how is a hybrid a man's best friend? Well, there's been many stories told by Prius owners, of why I say it is a man's best friend. One story was my mom, who was a Prius owner. She was going to work at about 8 a.m. She lives in Torrance, so she used the Prius. She had the carpool sticker, so she used it to get in the carpool. And she goes to work at 8 a.m., goes to work all day. Around 5, she's ready to go home. She's looking for her keys, and she can't find her keys in her purse. So she's, struggling, calling people with her keys. So she goes to her car, and she finds her keys in the ignition of her car, and her car is still on and it's still running. And that's, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's a long time for your car to still be on and running. And so any regular car, your battery dies or you lose gas. And she checked, and she was in the same spot gas-wise she was at the beginning of the day, and her car was still on and running, and she was able to go home that day, and she hasn't had a problem with it since. Another example I would say of why it's a man's best friend is there was an East Coast family. There was a snowstorm, and they had lost all the electricity in their house, and they managed to provide fuel for their house by running their generator to their Prius. They just use the battery from the Prius to bring electricity into the house. And one more story I would say is, like, when my family, we own, my mom owns the first Prius, the 2004 Prius, and then my dad owns the Lexus RX Prius, or hybrid, I should say. And when we go on trips, like my brother lives in Pleasanton up north, which is the Bay. We only refuel once back and forth, and that's a 6-hour trip. So that's why I would say it's I think this topic relates to everybody in this room because everyone in here has either heard or maybe decided to buy a hybrid vehicle. The reason why I think you should buy them or why they're beneficial is because, say if you live in a big city, in a congested city, a hybrid car will allow you to, go from place to place for weeks. A hybrid car gains 51 miles per gallon. So, also, say everybody's driven a car where they've been driving behind a truck, and you see this truck and they push the gas or they honk their horn or whatever they do. All that black smoke just comes behind you and blows in your face, whether you're walking or in your car. If we change a lot of our vehicles to hybrids, that eliminates that smog. Or say you're driving, from my house, when I'm driving down the 10 freeway, when I'm coming down a hill, I'm able to see Los Angeles from my distance or from the view that I'm at. And lately, I haven't been able to see it because there's been so much smog and there's been so much, blocking my view, I should say. There's been critics that try to come up with disadvantages of why hybrid vehicles are a bad thing. They try to say things like they're too small, they're not as flashy, their takeoff is too slow, it's hard to find parts. As far as they're too small, they're not flashy, and their takeoff is too slow, that's more, to me, that's just a critic trying to, find the reason why a hybrid is bad for you, why you shouldn't own a hybrid. I think hybrids are beneficial because, obviously, hybrids are going to be cars for the future. So, somebody trying to contradict or debate or go against a hybrid, I think, is just them being a regular person. Overall, if you don't believe me when I say that a hybrid is a man's best friend, and I challenge you to share with me when a friend of yours that you know has either helped you, save on gas, provided you with government incentives, provided you with great warranties, or retain their value over time, or even save money in the long run. But putting aside all the metaphors, if we seriously understand and consider the technology of a hybrid, you would agree that a hybrid is not only a wise investment, but is also a friend to our atmosphere and the health of mankind by the way it contributes to clean air.
So Joshua, what did you think?
I felt like in the beginning he was swaying a lot, but once he actually got into his speech, he felt more comfortable, and actually his movements were a lot less. His voice projected very nicely throughout the whole speech. His eye contact was there a lot during his stories, but a little bit script dependent when it came to the stats. He had a good point. I didn't see much of signposting or citation, but the speech actually made me think about hybrids.
Okay.
I might want one, but.
All right. Most of the delivery things I thought were pretty solid, and I like the metaphor that you have in the introduction that you come back to at the end of the speech. I'd agree you need a little bit more citation on some of the things like the average mileage that you're getting, and you've got one statistic about a 90% reduction in pollution. I need some sourcing on that kind of information. At the end, I thought you got a little bogged down in discussing the criticism issues and maybe a little lost as to what the point was there, because it seemed like you were wandering a bit. But you came back to the main idea, I thought, pretty clearly. And like I said, I thought for the most part the presentation issues were really solid. All right, thank you.